I think I'm getting the hang of this. Man, it's sort of kind of like riding a bike, but not quite. Welcome to the program. It is October 28th, 2025, and it is, in fact, a Tuesday, which means my kid sister Susan should be joining us. I'm trying to get her in here. Yeah, how we doing? When I get on my bike, things can happen. So, hang on. No, you don't want to be on a tandem with me. The one time I tried to have take my young son, when he was like about 2, for a bike ride, and I got one of those things, right, that the kid sits in, and I put him in. We were in the we were in the driveway. I had him on, a little helmet, the whole bit. I pushed off and fell right over. We went down, the two of us. That is not easy, I found out. But the poor kid, he was unharmed. Jeez. I think we might have. Yeah, right. So, I just don't have a good record on bikes, and I've sworn off them now. I don't go near them. Huh. Huh. That's odd. Wow. Well, good for those who can. I'm proud of you, happy for you. So, Susan, yesterday I came back, started the show. Things didn't quite work, so I couldn't take calls. My dear support guy Kevin from City Paper came over to the house yesterday, and that's why you're on. Got me back up and running. I don't. What is it about things like this? Had to do with Zoom, but they constantly change. So I hadn't used it for 4 or 5, 6 weeks, and they're constantly like, okay, well, I could not figure out how to. They suggested that I might want to join and start a program. I said, "You sons of bitches!" I'm so sick of screaming at, yeah, computers, um, and I can't even remember what it was. It was a few weeks ago. I was trying to do something, and I was talking, of course, to a machine that was purporting to be a human. And I just started screaming at the top of my lungs. I want to talk to a human. I mean, and I have to tell you, I do not. Um, I mean, I'm sure they're programmed to what, not respond well to someone screaming at them, or are, I mean, I don't know, but I certainly understand that I'm not going to hurt their feelings. I know I wouldn't scream at a human. I wouldn't. But I go berserk. Oh, wait, Susan. People. Uh oh. People are saying they're not hearing you. Huh? I've got her unmuted. Oh no, son of a bitch. I don't know what to do. I don't think that's the fix, but you can go for it. Son of a bitch. What would it be, guys? I don't know. You can hear me, but you can't hear her. So, I mean, I've done everything that I've always. Here she comes. Okay. I am now unmuting her. Hello? All right. Does anybody hear her? Takes a while. Oh, you didn't? Did you hear it this time? I don't know. I'm not getting. Anybody hearing Susan? Just waiting for a. We can tell she's there. No, here's a cryptic remark. We can tell she's there, but can't hear what she's saying. No, Susan. Son of a bitch. No. Suze. Son of a. Aw, damn, Suze. Oh, shit. Okay. Damn it. Wait a minute. Wait, let me just wait. Wait. No, that doesn't work. Okay. I don't know. Did you say anything? Okay. Here, try it again. Okay, well, I heard that. I don't know if anyone else did. Suze, I don't know. It isn't anything on your end, I'm sure. We're both doing exactly what we've always done. So, son of a bitch. All right, so. All right, bye, Suze. Safe travel. Bye. Son of a bitch. Ooh, here's a different thing. She's there, very quiet. Doug, you're the only person who said that. You got really good ears, maybe. Okay, listen, she's given up. I've given up. Damn it. Damn it! Why is everything so hard, guys? Why is it? Who's the poet who said, "The world is too much with me"? Because I mean, that just seems to say it for me. The world is too much with me. So, whatever. Damn it. And what I had here prepared was a whole kind of light-hearted Susan kind of a show. Stuff that wasn't about fucking who. God dang it. Well, I don't know. What I am going to suggest is that one of you here's a good word that one of you chatters came up with. And shitification of everything. Right. Yeah. The whole world is being enshitified. And we're standing here taking it. Okay, so here's just one thing I would like to try. Confer amongst yourselves, because I don't want 7,000 of you calling in, but would one person call and let me see if we can hear you? That might at least yeah, Rustbelt says if you call a company and want to talk to a human, just say representative 2 or 3 times. With 2 or 3, I'm screaming, human! Agent! Let me talk to someone with blood in their veins! Oh, God. And then, actually, when you finally do get connected to a human, they often can't do a damn thing for you either. I mean, in the case I'm thinking of, that is the idea of customer service. There is so laughable. And I suspect it's part of this sort of end game of capitalism that we're in that the monopolists, there are very few huge companies sort of controlling everything, and consequently, they're not worried about competition. We have no choices. We're just, I don't know. It's beyond belief. Doug, I like that one. You can also speak to these bloodless sons of bitches that pretend to be us. You can also speak in tongues to them. It confuses the hell out of them, and you're transferred right away. I don't know how to speak in tongues, but I mean just sort of like gobbledygook. And they freak out and give you a human. Well, that's one of those things. Don't tell too many people, because they'll, I don't know. And remember how they first sold us on this tech stuff that was coming down the pike, how it was going to simplify our lives. And I must say, in some respects, perhaps it has. But in others, obviously, it has not. The aforementioned Kevin, who came to help me yesterday, was talking about some thermostat he now has in his home that has taken over control, and I guess observes when there's humans in the house and when there isn't humans in the house, and it handles things for him. And I'm thinking, why? We were perfectly capable of turning up or down a thermostat. We don't need no stinking fucking disembodied AI piece of shit. God, I so hate this stuff. And so many of you have, so much more, resolutely or even happily brought this crap into your lives. I will be taken out of this life kicking and screaming at it. It becomes obviously increasingly unavoidable. But unlike some of you, I don't like my house surveilling me. I don't like my computer listening to me or watching me, or my television, it's just beyond belief that people are willing to do this. God damn. Anyway, well, son of a bitch. Okay, let me try to adjust to the unexpected removal of my sister, Susan, from this hour. I must tell you, in her absence, that she did woman's work in our family over the last years. She's been able to handle the sort of business and the financial end of our family, because I have, believe me, guys, I have zero capability of comprehending anything financial. And my brother, even though he might be a emeritus professor of the law, he really is sort of clueless too, I think. But Susan has had the ability, and then caring for our mom up until the very end. So there's one in every family. Why is there only one in every family? If a family's lucky, and it's often, generally, a female, who, yeah. Susan says, I'm still here, don't embarrass me. Are you? Well, okay. Try again if you want, Suze. I don't know what else to do. Some people are saying maybe it's on your end. Are you sure you're... It isn't. It isn't. So, all right. Okay, Suze, I'll stop. I won't say wonderful things about you, but she's been wondrous. And my brother and I cannot express our gratitude enough. So there. So, well, Suze, take part in chat. I can see that. I came upon the greatest quote, and I'm going to share it with you because it's one that I if I could do like needlepoint, I would make a pillow and have it, prominently displayed in my home, maybe on my favorite chair. Actually, I don't have a favorite chair, but I found this quote in an obituary of a guy with a, boy, what a name. His name was Ashleigh Brilliant. And he was known for coming up with brilliant, pithy, is that called an aphorism? Adages, little, adages. His big time was San Francisco in the 60s. But I had never heard of him. But in the course of his obit, they shared a lot of his pithy sayings. And this one just struck me, especially given the world we're living in now. And here it is. I feel much better now. Well, let me do that again. I feel much better now that I've given up hope. That so tickled me. I guess you would. It is sort of like a liberation, a release. I feel much better now after giving up hope. Anyway, that's my new one. That's the one. I love that. I love it, and I want to thank the now deceased Ashleigh Brilliant. One of the things I wanted to share with Susan is that I got a catalog. I used to get tons of catalogs, but I can see catalogs are starting to go too. God help us. And I loved them. I mean, some of them, if you want to waste time, what fun paging through them and looking at the pictures and resisting, wanting all of it. And but this was a new one. I don't get new ones, and I'd never seen it before. And the most beautiful yellow bird is drinking water from the top of my little teeny waterfall on my pond. Yellow with black. Oh, went away. Okay. And it's called, maybe some of you know this, I'm just going to tell you, because maybe you could look it up if you want to. Best brushes. Best brushes. And I thought, what? An entire catalog of brushes? And it turns out no, because the first stuff in it is not brushes, it's stuff, it's things, it's God knows what. And then the brushes start showing up. And guys, I was and remain blown away by the fact that there are brushes for individual tasks that are so specific that, I mean, if you had a certain kind of mental illness, there must be somebody who, for this catalog, would be like it'd be a killer. Because if you had lint on your clothes, then there would be your lint on your clothes brush that you would know where it was and you would go for it, and yeah. But page after page, good God in heaven, and they're pictured, and some are, here's one, I just opened the page, a phonograph record brush. What? Who would brush a phonograph? And it looks substantial. And it's extra soft, it says, made of goat's hair. And it's only $39.50 if you want to brush your phonograph record. And here's one. All on the same page. A niche. A niche brush. A niche brush. Handmade of oiled beechwood with long goat hair on one side and fine bristles on the other, designed for sensitive surfaces and niches. What? Can you imagine you're looking at something, a corner of your house, and you say, do I get my niche brush or do I get my, because they've got them, cobweb brush, or do I get my, oh my God, you cannot begin to believe. There's even a brush for cleaning between your toes. I kid you not. Do I use my niche brush or do I do my crack and corner brush? This is a fan-shaped brush getting into tight corners and narrow cracks. How about a cockpit duster? This is for the dashboard and instrument panel of your car. Guys, I have lived my entire life without having a straw cleaner brush. Oh my God. So, yeah, there is a different brush for every container in your house. But I mean, again, imagine if you were like some kind of person with a really bad case of what? Maybe OCD. I don't know what it would be that you would then get into. Yeah, see, Susan's saying, I want the toes one. See, I thought if I started on this that some of you were going to say, oh my God, I got to have that. There's even an entire thing for extremely thin, twisted wire brushes where you can figure out what the hell that's going to be used for. There is a specific brush for the wheel spokes on your bicycle and the mag rims on your car. Now, the thing is, a lot of these brushes. All right, Susan. She says, does anyone realize that Lynn is reduced to reading us a brush catalog? But I was going to do it with you because it's too unbelievable. Okay, I'll almost stop. But there is literally a brush for every kind of shoe you have. There is a brush for the soles of your shoe. It's the shoe sole brush. It's specifically for getting, oh God, guys, you can't even imagine this. There is a sneaker brush. There is a hiking shoe brush. There is a boot brush. And they're all fucking different. And here's one I couldn't believe. A velcro brush for getting those pesky slubs out of the velcro. Whoa. There's a brush for absolutely every kind of fabric. No, don't use that. It's the new buck brush. You want the cashmere brush. Jesus H. I just got to tell you, unbelievable. So I'll give you, let's see, do they have a website? Yeah. bestbrushes.com. And now I'll stop. bestbrushes.com. And you might want to drop my name because maybe I could get a little, a commission. God. Yeah, Susan wants the Velcro brush too. And so does Laura. See? I'm telling you guys. bestbrushes.com. And the toe brush, just so you know, is almost 3 feet long. So you don't have to bend much, if at all. Just saying. You can't make it up. So, have I lost you all to bestbrushes.com? Oh, wait, I have a call. Now, this will be interesting. Are we going to hear this person? Hello? Ha! Oh, wow! Oh, wow! Oh, wow! Rich. Rich has been unable to call for the longest time because his vocal cords have gone kaplooey, and you're not supposed to be talking. Okay. Well, this is just a delight. So go for it. And first of all, is everybody? Wait. We've got to find out. are people hearing Rich? You know, people might not hear you. They couldn't hear Susan. No, no, and you know what? Susan's saying she can't hear you. Don't. Nobody's hearing you, Rich. No one's hearing you. I was sort of thinking that I'm doing a throwback Thursday today. Am I not? Yeah. Okay. Listen. Try. Okay. Try Thursdays because I got to get back to the rest of them who can't hear. The package arrived and is almost consumed. I shared it with friends, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Okay. Really. Thank you, Rich. Rich, I have to tell you guys, has sent me during my convalescence his homegrown tomatoes, just wonderful and humorous little letters. Wonderful guy, and he's been struggling by not being able to talk. And then, damn, he finally talks, and no one can hear him. Is that not a metaphor for something? Yiko. Okay, so Susan, it wasn't you. It's something on my end that I don't understand. I'm so sick of this shit. Okay. Laura, I'm telling you, you tell him. Talking about brushes again. Laura's on the site, and she says, and they also have some nice looking slippers. Right. There is a mute or volume button on that Zoom screen somewhere. That's the solution, says Susan. You think? I'm looking. No. Mute all video. This is interesting, right? I'm Susan. I'm not seeing anything that I normally have not seen. Son of an effing bitch. Excuse my swearing. Okay, one more thing. I'll look. Fuck you. I was just, excuse my swearing, and then I keep swearing. I don't know. No, not seeing anything. Return this fat fuck. Get started. Mini chat more. Blah, blah, blah. I hate. Bring back the horse and fucking buggy. We'll keep the vaccines, but all the rest of it, fuck it. Seriously, fuck it. Oh, Doug's saying my intro wasn't there either. It's like your mixer is turned down to other sounds, but not your voice. Guys, do you think I have a clue? God damn it. Where are volume controls? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Is anything... Son of a bitch. Okay. Yeah, this is... Rich, by the way, said, maybe I'll call back on Throwback Thursday, which was his idea. And I was thinking, I'm doing a Throwback Thursday. I am. This is the kind of show we did before that fucking monstrous fascist son of a goddamn bitch came into our lives. You know, you didn't have to constantly be talking about the end of the world. Oh, speaking of the end of the world, I told myself not to watch it, but I did. It's that movie that Catherine Bigelow did, called, what's it called? It's called House of Dynamite. It's on Netflix. Yeah, you guys, I played the... Okay, I'm listening to the chatters, too. I heard... It's weird. It's one fucking button here I don't have pushed, right? Well, it doesn't help to have me sitting here screaming. I'm afraid to touch... I could touch stuff and the world will go up in smoke. So we're just going to have to muddle on. But I want to say, House of Dynamite. Oh my God. If you are sick of the endless worry that is plaguing you about the future, watch House of Dynamite, because it'll blow everything up and you'll have a new fear. It creates a different kind of existential dread. But whoa. It's something that's been in the back of my head for some time. The fact that there's so many nuclear people, bad actors with nuclear devices. And it's just a matter of time, kaplooey. But this, wow, is really, it's well done. And if you wanna, it's a heart pounder. I mean, you feel tense. But, oh God, I don't know what to say. Anyway, House of Dynamite, might try it. Also, binge the third season of The Diplomat. I also recommend that. About a more recognizable, functional kinda government and geopolitics. But it's good stuff. Oh, guys. I really am so sorry. Suze, we'll have you on Thursday if you can. But I've blown most of my the stuff I was going to share with you. I'm going to try to hold on to some of it. Okay? And I don't know, just sort of branch out here into some other stuff. I blindsided yet again. So one of the things, okay. Oh, and speaking of television and things to watch, I just want to note that something coming up that I think will be edifying, certainly informative, is a documentary series, Ken Burns, on the Revolutionary War. And obviously heading into, we're a year away, less than a year away from the 250th anniversary of, Well, the more I read about it, the more I really want to see it. Mostly because I don't think we know. I don't want to include you if I shouldn't, but I don't think most of us know much about the Revolutionary War. And I think what we're taught is such, mythological, the kind of foundational stories that families tell about themselves that are maybe 40% fact and 60% whatever. And I think that's probably true of what most of us know. I mean, for instance, Betsy Ross, forget about it. I mean, all the things we think we know are mostly a lot of apocryphal bullshit, I believe. And the stuff we don't know is fascinating. Especially, and I don't know if any of you recall a call we got maybe about 2-3 months ago from a guy who used to listen to the show a long time ago and contributed to it. He went by the name of Blovius because he bloviates. But Blovius called out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. He's, I think, called from somewhere in the Berkshires or upstate New York. He was somewhere. And he told a fascinating story of, I'm remembering it right, of how Benjamin Franklin and or the founding fathers looked to the natives, the Native Americans, the tribes, and their federations, and their system of holding together disparate tribes in helping them, the founding fathers, come up with this radical, revolutionary idea of the United States of America. Never mind that we then, of course, essentially slaughtered them, stole from them, but that they set an example, and then we killed them. If that's not, see, but that's the kind of American history that we should know. It doesn't mean you have to then hate America, because humans we are brutal, murderous beings, and human history is a brutal, murderous story, always. And the story of this country is an astonishing story. Anyway, I think we will all learn stuff that we didn't know. And we will have a more complex appreciation for this nation as it stands now in its precarious situation. But Ken Burns apparently says he thinks that the American Revolution was the most significant event in human history since the birth of Christ. Now, I just want to say this. He says that as an American Christian. Someone who is neither American nor Christian might have a different perspective. But there is no doubt that both those events, the birth of Jesus of Nazareth and the birth of this nation, were huge, huge events in human history. I'm catching up with you chatters. Susan can do Thursday. Great. Milton says the Ken Burns documentary on the war begins on November 16. PBS, give them some money. So it's going to be on PBS. So you mean we're going to have to look at this the old-fashioned way, like make a date to watch? Wow. Chris writes, my fourth great-grandfather and his two brothers fought in the Revolutionary War. Wow. We have a certificate verifying he was at Valley Forge and the crossing of the Delaware with George Washington. Where'd you get that certificate? You think yeah, wow. That's pretty neat. And Rust Belt suggests a book named oh yeah, I've heard of this book. Lies My Teacher Told Me. And that could be a 500 volume book. Lies My Teacher Told Me, Everything Your American History Textbook Got Wrong. That's by James Lowen. So yeah, lots of good reading to be done. Oh my, guys. So I get a few other things I've learned about this upcoming documentary is that he's worked on it for over 10 years. 10 years. Yeah. It's going to be 12 hours. So the 2 hour, I got a feeling you do a 2 hour, 2 hours, 6 nights. And yeah. And, because there's no, there ain't no video. So he's obviously had to use whatever testimonial from the period. And they're using voice actors. Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that, and there's been some good TV on. Some of it sports related. Did anyone stay up for the World Series game last night? Because if you did, I tip my hat to you, man. Was the stadium still full at the end? 18 innings? Son of a... Wow! And where did I read? Somebody said... I'm going to find it. I'm going to find it. I swear I took a little picture of it. It will go down as one of the most riveting World Series games of all time. A game filled with incredible defensive relays, some very close warning track flyouts, and another otherworldly performance by Ohtani, who, only homered twice and reached base 9 times. I think this is from Bill Crystal, and he says, it got me thinking, watching Ohtani now, what a rare opportunity to see this guy in action, somebody who has actually perfected his craft. I mean, it's perfection, or as close as humans can get. He says it's Michael Jordan in the mid-90s, Tiger in 2000. It's how folks in Vienna felt when Mozart burst on the scene. And he'll be on the mound tonight. Just saying. Yeah. And Art reminds us of a Paul Simon lyric. When I think back on all the crap I learned in high school, it's a wonder I can even think at all, right? Yeah. Well, that was one of the things that was so mind-blowing about being a freshman in college, and I've said this before, that you go to college and and in class after class, although I suppose less so in things like math and science, but in the social studies, you are essentially spend your freshman year being being disabused of everything you had so studiously ingested in the prior 12 years. It's so absurd what we do. But this, again, this idea of, I guess, schooling being about creating good citizens who are told a certain story. I mean, we're seeing it now play out in frightening ways with he who shall not be named. But yeah. You know, one of the things, let me just say this, a thought I had while I was incapacitated and sort of out of the corner of my eye watching what was happening. I thought of some of what is happening, the stifling of people's ability to say what they feel, to say what they're thinking, to dissent. I was thinking that if this current horror has a potential of creating its own demise, and I think it does, it is in that attempt, getting more and more blatant, to silence and punish speech and ideas expressed. Because my sense of this country and the wondrousness of it and why I cherish it and love it has to do with that First Amendment. That Americans, and we have not valued it because we just have always had it. It's, you know, what you have always had, yeah, it's just there till it's not. We have always had the capacity to speak truth to power, to mock power, to stand in the street with a megaphone and shout it, and to never suffer imprisonment or death because of it, or the loss of a job. I mean, that is so, to me, it is the essence of being an American. And we're starting to understand, to even feel in our bones the fear that someone might hear us say the wrong thing. This is a reality that millions upon millions upon millions of people have lived all of their lives in autocratic, unfree nations. We've never known that. And now we're learning that this is their intent, to punish our thoughts, our speech, the very essence of being exceptional. This is how America has been exceptional. It's the core of how I think about the specialness of this country. And I think I share that with all Americans if they shut up long enough to have a thoughtful moment, to think of how they cherish that freedom and how no effing president or power, governmental power, can take that away. It is something that should, and I'm hoping will, unite us against these SOBs, these destructive bastards. When I think of why I care, it is the First Amendment. And there is a reason. It is number one. I don't know where that came from. But I did have to say that. For those of you not looking at chat, Susan says, I'm speaking up for learning in high school as a former school board president. Lots of good stuff gets taught as well. That's true, Suze. By great teachers. That's true, Suze. She says, just a dose of reality. Of course. Although, I've told this story before. I once walked into my kid's kindergarten class. I don't know why I pick them up. It might have been the same time I walked into the kid's kindergarten class, and the little jerk behind my kid tapped him on the shoulder and said, very loudly, I thought, "Hey, Sam, your grandma's here." Yeah. Son of a bitch, that little son of a... I wanted to kill him. So, but I walked into his class, maybe that time or one other, and there was the teacher, and she was saying to a rapt audience of little kindergartners, let me get it right. So, when Abraham Lincoln chopped down that cherry tree, I kid you not. Well, my first reaction was, I was appalled. Oh my God! What do you mean Abraham Lincoln chopped down a tree? For all I know, he did. I know he chopped trees. But she had it wrong. It was George Washington, right? And then I thought, after I calmed down, that for all we know, George Washington never chopped down a fucking cherry tree either. And again, it's part of these mythologies that we tell and that we pass we pass on. And we call it education. It's indoctrination, right? So, son of a bitch, guys. I mostly enjoyed this hour anyway. Susan, I'm glad you stayed with us. You'll come on Thursday. I will hope. Poor Kevin. He ends up having to come here. It's out of his way. He's a busy guy. Oh, Jesus. Try to figure out what it is before Thursday. And so I can get you guys in. And, okay. And I leave you with, again, that quote that I love. I feel much better now that I've given up hope. Okay? Now, I'm about to play the outro music, which I understand none of you will hear. But maybe I'll hum along. Okay? So, let's see. Here it comes, I think. Here it comes. Here it comes. Hear it. Hello? Don't. Lynn Cullen live. Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and archived at PGH City Paper W. The opinions expressed on this fucking show do not necessarily reflect the views of Pittsburgh City Paper or its few paltry advertisers or its owners or half the audience on any given day. Goodbye.